Butch, you dirty, dirty, dirty bitch. Thanks for joining us.
Not a bother whatsoever. And I am a dirty, sexy bitch.
A dirty, sexy, hairy, lovely individual.
And I am hairy as fuck right now. Look at that.
Got that pandemic beard going.
Oh, too fucking right. If I shave it off, it's going to get itchy again. So what's the point? You know what I mean?
Thanks very much for joining me here on this experiment, I suppose. Obviously, I had to have my boy Butch on, the greatest professional wrestler this country has ever produced, the bastard Badger of Armstrong country. Let's talk about some backyard wrestling. But first, let's talk about what you're up to at the moment. Not pandemic-wise, wrestling-wise. When you come out of this gap, come out of this pause, come out of this space where you're doing nothing, what are you hoping to do in Phoenix Wrestling and beyond?
Well, with Phoenix Wrestling, you know, they're bringing in that world title.
Mm-hmm.
So Butchie Boy's hoping to get his name in there. You know, Butch for the goal. I think that's somewhere where I need to be. So I'm working very hard now, even during this whole fucking pandemic, training my ass off, trying to get to that spot. So here's hoping that when we get back, that's what we're running towards, you know? And just being a sexy bastard overall.
You just got to be sexy. That's the main thing. Once you're sexy, the people will want to see you with the championship, and that's all that matters.
You got to make it sexy. You got to make it sexy, man.
A man not wearing pants wants a belt, and we got to give him it. It's the only way to go. So let's get into your backyard wrestling days. That's what we're here to talk about. This is Don't Backyard Wrestle at Home. Butch Armstrong. What was the name of your backyard wrestling company?
Right. So I had two of them, right?
Yeah.
The first one was AWF, Abbeyside Wrestling Federation. So Abbeyside, where I grew up and stuff like that, but I was the youngest person in that fed. So I was kind of the lad who just got fucking thrown around the place. Still great fucking crack. And then as I grew older, I named one ICW, Irish Championship Wrestling. This is before I knew about the fucking Scottish ICW as well.
Do you think they robbed it?
Most definitely.
They robbed your idea.
You know what the worst part was, right? It wasn't even the Scottish one. It was fucking Lanny Poffo, Macho Man's father, used to have a promotion called ICW. And I remember going, oh, fuck. That's what got me
up. Mark Dallas, bastard. Mark Dallas coming over here robbing your backyard wrestling company. And I bet you were extreme as well.
Right? Too fucking extreme, man. I mean, we used to have, like, we couldn't afford thumbtacks, so we'd use cornflakes, you know, Lego, bumping on cornflakes. It hurts like a motherfucker, man. We'd use Heinz ketchup for blood. You know how it is.
Hang on. You used ketchup for blood?
When I was younger in the AWS, yeah, ketchup for blood. What we do see is we go down to the green, right? So it'll be me, my brother, and then two of our neighbors who lives across the road. We'd all get like a bunch of different clothes. We'd have like 4 or 5 characters each. And we go down to the green with a big fucking boombox. Just play different wrestling songs, come out, do different matches. But to anybody who didn't know what the fuck we were doing, it just looked like we were a group of lads kicking the shit out of each other. You know what I mean? There's some fucking laughter.
Is it a phone that's playing your entrance music at this point?
Oh no, like an actual like CD player. So what we do is we burn the songs onto the CDs and we go down, yeah. For the amount of, there was one neighbor who fucking hated us, man. Because every day around the same time we'd come down, play the fucking music, and he'd be storming out like, turn that shit off. And they're like, oh yeah, no bother. Like he comes in then, all right, come on, let's go. Up louder again then, you know.
So when you had both these companies, were you the same character in both of them, or did you play multiple characters?
So I played multiple characters, but my main character, right, started off as a guy called Metal Face. Like, how badass is that? Metal Face, right?
Love it.
And so I wanted to be like Kane, so I was like, right. And they, as I was the youngest as well, they were like, yeah, Metal Face sounds cool. Probably just taking the piss out of me. Like, so I was like, yeah, no, Metal Face, that's what I am. And then I became obsessed with Ultimate Warrior for some reason.
Yeah.
So I was like, no, Metal Warrior is the way to go. I came down one day and I was like, lads, Metal Face is dead. I'm now the Metal Warrior. Oh, man.
And what was the difference? Like, first of all, what age were you when Metal Face started?
Oh Jesus Christ! I want to say around 9, 10.
Class.
Very yeah, yeah. And then I'd say when I about 14, then I changed to Metal Warrior.
The Metal
And
Warrior. I love the Metal Warrior has captured my imagination right now. Like when you were doing these things, were you doing promos? Were you doing like talking
oh
segments,
yeah,
interviews? Like yeah,
we were doing talking segments, backstage segments. We do the the graphics, like the match card graphics, where
yeah.
they kind of move and then they stop and hold still. We do them as well. We never even recorded ourselves. We just do them. We'd have someone in the back going, "Tonight, Metal Warriors facing off against Skull." We had a lad who was the commissioner, the corrupt commissioner called Skull, who just walked around with a purple briefcase. So after every match, he'd come out and go, "I don't like this," or he'd change it, and it was what getting me to think about it, man. It was so
Do you say you
fun.
had a purple briefcase?
Purple briefcase. So it's like I think it was out of the Jones old magic kits we used to get as kids. Like it'd be
Yeah.
the plastic one. What we do is we got a bit of paper, wrote AWF on it, and he carried that around with him. And that was like he was the big corrupt commissioner. So after every match, something would happen.
So
And we
we have
do like
Skull, we have the Metal Warrior, and Skull has a purple briefcase. You're bumping in cornflakes, and you're bleeding ketchup. This is like a fucking acid trip or a Rick and Morty episode or something so far.
this is a man. Like what we used to do as well as we used to do fucking like old Raw and stuff like that. Say a match was going on, and you
Yeah.
have like a clip of someone walking backstage. We would do that shit. So someone would be having a match, and then someone just go, "I'm Metal Warriors walking backstage." I just walk past.
So for the Metal Warrior, you were talking earlier about how you had entrance music, you burnt them onto CDs, that kind of a thing. What
Yeah,
what
yeah.
was the Metal Warriors music?
You know what, right? I used Cactus Jack's theme song. They
Class.
fucking loved it that much. I was like, yeah, I had to have that. And then fucking what was it in? And then Bret Hart. I
So you
never
actually
went
did love
original. I
the
was just like,
free
no,
beats.
they have a cool theme song. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Remember the anthology CD?
Yeah.
We had gotten that after, say, about a year after we started this. So I was like, right, we need those songs. Do you know what I mean? And that's how we
Excellent.
kind of started off with it. Like,
That's
and
fucking
then the
amazing.
ICW came, and we had so then I formed ICW when the AWF lads, my neighbours across the road, were just like, "Oh no, wrestling's not cool anymore. We don't want to do it." Just
Yeah.
randomly one day, so I was like, "All right, fine, fuck you then." Because soccer is better. That's literally, I was like, "No, soccer's way better." I was like, "All right, fuck off." So
Soccer's
I'm gonna
fake.
go talk to myself
Everybody
over
knows
here.
soccer is fake.
Exactly, the fakest sport ever. I mean, why would you go kicking a ball around when you could be pouring Heinz ketchup on your head? I don't
Exactly.
understand
Exactly.
it.
Throwing yourself in the thumbtacks with a purple briefcase. What's not fuck's sake? But so
Then
there's a
we
split. So Abbeyside Wrestling Federation becomes ICW. Do people go with you, or is it you yourself going off trying to find your own people again?
So it's me, myself, and my brothers.
Okay.
So we walked in because, like, where I was from, there was very few people that I knew that actually liked wrestling. To the extent that we liked it, it's more so a case of like you talk to someone like, "Oh yeah, I know The Rock or Steve Austin," but then you go like, "I can't let's wrestle." They'll be like, "Oh, fuck off." Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's only kind of me, my brothers, then we'd have the odds, like one or two lads from school who'd come over to the house. Then you'd be like, "Right, come on, let's wrestle." You know what I mean? So we kind
So
of just had to
when
make matches
when they
ourselves.
became
I
ICW,
remember
what was the change? What was the big change?
big change was that I was more of a fucking heavyweight wrestling because at the time I was just lightweight. Everything was like, "Oh, you're the light heavyweight legend. You can be the light heavyweight champion." So when I became ICW, I was like, "Right, fuck this. I'm the heavyweight champion now." And we just changed it from the green to the backyard. Backyard. We'd actually put up like fucking and we'd step ladder. We'd bring chairs out so we could stand on them for turnbuckles. I get fucking tape, kind of wrap it around to make it sort of look like ropes, and
Class.
then we just use whatever's around us. Then, so that's when we kind of started fucking using household items to batter the shit out of each other with.
And when you're doing this, was any of this ever filmed? Like, a lot of people were filming their backyard stuff back then, or did you ever do that?
You know what? We filmed a few, myself and my younger brother, we filmed a load of promos on one or two of our matches.
Hmm.
There's one on one of my old phones. I think the memory card is somewhere still at home. I was only thinking about it earlier because we filmed a shit ton of fucking promos one day. And I remember being like a producer, if you like, we've a minute to do this. Don't talk over. Just come on, let's get it done. I'd be there behind the camera, fucking going like, wrap it up, wrap it up, wrap it up. He was talking over and shit like. If I could find them, I'd send them on to you.
Dude, we'll edit that shit in right here if you send it on.
I had met the Warrior, and then I had a mass wrestler called Hurricane Hernandez, who was a luchador.
Okay.
I had a wrestler called Nero as well. I had Valley.
What was
I
that?
like the name of it, Death Valley. Valley.
Class.
I like the Death Valley driver, so I was like, Valley, that's a badass name. Yeah, fucking Valley. I'm gonna be Valley. He was like the alter ego to Metal Warrior.
I love this with backyard wrestling. There's a lot of these things that I've known you since basically you started. Your whole life, we're cousins. I've known you since you started wrestling, and a lot of these things are ideas that you had very early on when you came into CCW back in the day. Like, I know you wanted to be called Nero Braddock at one stage. You said that was a character name.
Yeah.
You had a hand in training with the masked luchador El Jabrito. You're not him, obviously, but you know him, and you are Hurricane Hernandez.
That's it, yeah. So I man, you know what? I had way more. So like, I had a list of fucking just all characters that I come up with. That's what I spent my junior cert doing in study instead of actually studying. I just write down lists of wrestlers and like write down their finishers. And if I made up the finisher, I'd kind of write down in brackets how to do it. So just to remind myself, you know what I mean? Fucking hell, I wish I still had it. Because I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was thrown out.
Yeah. So with these, like, are you actually booking these shows?
Yeah. So I would
how did that work?
Book them all.
But how did that work? Was it one person booking it? Was it committee?
No, it was just me. So me going to my brothers or whatever friends over, being like, all right, here's what's happening. I'll wrestle you now, or like you're gonna wrestle him, or I'll wrestle. You know what I mean? It was mainly me wrestling them all because I was like, wait, I want to. And some days then the brothers would be like, oh no, we don't want to wrestle them. Like, come on, we have to fucking do it. I have the card booked. I have the ring set up out back. The dogs are locked in. Just come on, let's do it.
That's my favorite thing about when you hear people's backyard wrestling stories is who's the booker. And there always is one or two at least who want to take complete charge of this, and everybody else just kind of has to go, all right, that's what we'll do then.
Yeah. But it's mad though as well because I moved house, I'd say about 4 or 5 times when I was younger. We'd always kind of changed units. Like I remember one time we had like a decking out back. So there was kind of railings on that so we could do fucking like jumping off that. So my brother used to do springboards on top of that. He used to do frog splashes and everything. He's clearly the athletic one of the family, like. But he used to do really cool flippy shit on it. And I'd just be there like, oh, yeah, come over here, let me slam you. You know what I mean?
That's all you need to do.
Exactly, yeah.
Did you have championships? Like, was there a heavyweight title and that kind of a thing?
What we did first was when we had the AWF, we used to use the old WWE replica belts.
Yeah.
And we would put like the AWF, we did a sticker, put the AWF on it. They had the old Federation heavyweight title and then the light heavyweight title. Those were the two main belts. And then with the ICW, I didn't want to make the fucking paper belts. And I didn't want to use a replica title either. So my older brother used to be really good at karate, so he'd won loads of different tournaments. So he'd loads of different style medals, like different colors and stuff. I was like, right, let's be different. Let's think outside the box. Let's just use the medals instead of title belts. You know what I mean? So it's like you're the heavyweight champion. Here's the big medal. You know what I mean? Tag team titles. Tag team champion. You'd have two of the same medal. You kind of run it like that.
That's fucking serious shit. That gives it a legitimacy. If people were given medals out
Yeah,
of wrestling, it looks fucking real. That's like an actual
that's
sporting
it.
medal.
Exactly, yeah, because wrestling is real, damn
And was there arguments over who was the
it.
champion?
Yeah, all the fucking time because it's like I'm not losing to him, or even you know. So right in ICW it was more so like my brothers kind of went along or whatever. Like, yeah, whatever. Come on, let's go out and have a crack. Whereas in AWF it was very much like, no, fuck it, I'm not losing to him. And it was really like arguing over everything. Like I remember before they gave me the light heavyweight title, and they're like, okay, you've won the title now, you can fuck off. Like, no, fuck this. I'm the light heavyweight legend. So I just went around calling myself that. So they had to keep giving me the title.
That's it. You got to fucking always be working, brother. Always be working.
Yeah, working from a young age. I still haven't learned how to do it right, but I'm fucking practicing.
And how did storylines work? More so, I want to see like in ICW when you're kind of
Yeah,
getting a little bit older. How are the storylines working there? What are the storylines? Are they serious, like dark angles, or is it dumb childish shit?
some childish shit. Because it
Yes.
was, like I said, it was more so when I could get people over to wrestle. So when it was a case, it was just like, all right, I just want a tag team match, or I just want a fucking heavyweight title match. Do you know what I mean? We
Yeah.
couldn't do us for, we weren't able to do us frequently enough that we'd have continuing storylines.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So what I do instead is I'd be like, okay, you're wrestling him tonight. Cut a promo. Let's record the promo, or let's just fucking promo against each other in the ring. Let's set it up there, and then let's do the match. You know,
And how
I
were
love to read storylines.
was that sorry?
I would have loved to actually have been able to do storylines like that.
Yeah.
Nobody was committed as me.
So the Metal Warrior has literally captured my imagination, right? I want the Metal Warrior. Can we have a Metal Warrior promo now?
And
The
that
Metal
warrior
Warrior is
promo now.
fighting Matt Skyler. Go.
That warrior's fighting Matt Spanner. Okay, okay. Tonight, Matt Skyler, you go on one with the Metal Warrior, and you will be placed in metal solitude forever. A lot of similarities to Ultimate Warrior.
Don't say he stole your gimmick.
Of course he fucking did.
So far we have
You know
Mark
what I mean?
Dallas and the Ultimate Warrior. They're on the list of absolute plagiarizing bastards.
That's a t-shirt right there. People who plagiarized me in the past.
Jesus Christ, the Ultimate Warrior, Mark Dallas. So when like I think everybody has one big memory or thought of something that was either very extreme or very stupid or very crazy or even just ridiculous and embarrassing. What's your big memory from backyard wrestling? The big moment, say.
Big moment. Not really sure because I did a lot of stupid stuff. Like I'd say one of them was probably we used to have a step ladder and me trying to do a fucking swanton bomb off it and I couldn't flip for shit. So I never. My brother moved out of the way as I did it. I nearly broke my neck as I kind of nailed this, but I landed very neck heavy, and that's probably the one thing that was kind of like, oh fuck, you're the stupidest thing I've ever done. But otherwise, it's just a lot of shenanigans. You know what I mean? You look back at it all and you're like, fucking hell, it was great crack. There's no one moment I can ever go like, fucking hell, that was mad. You know?
I think it's backyard wrestling is some of the best times because you take it as seriously as you do when you are actually wrestling. Back when I was 14, 15, that shit was my life. And I was booking it. And if people didn't want to do my storylines, fuck them.
But man, I remember even one day I was like, okay, it's Easter Sunday, and guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna have a fucking match outside. Like I planned everything, and then my fucking it was my younger brother and my older brother. My older brother Eric, he was gone from the house at the time. I couldn't get anybody else into the house. So I was like, right lads, there's only three of us. We need to have a few matches. was it's got to be fucking great. They didn't want to do it. I went fucking mental. I was like, I spent 3 days planning out everything. The medals are ready. Come on. Oh man, we got like half a match out of that day, and then it started pissing raining. I was like,
What age did you stop backyard wrestling?
I'd say probably around 16, 17.
60, yeah.
Just because nobody wanted to do it anymore, and then people were just losing interest. You know what I mean? Like my brothers just lost interest in wrestling,
Yeah.
and then I had no really friends who loved it that much. So apart from the odd time where I go to one of my mates' Cornwall's house and you have a trampoline, I'd be like, "Want the trampoline there for a few minutes?" And he'd be like, "No." I'd be like, "Just want the trampoline there for a few minutes." Before like, "Choke slam!" We just start beating the shit out of each other on it.
Metal Warrior needed to be unleashed.
Then that's kind of, you know what? I think the world has yet to see the greatness of the Metal Warrior. I think it's time to make a comeback. Like I painted my face and everything. I took that shit seriously.
Guys, here's what we need. When we're back after the pandemic or whenever this goes out, when Butch Armstrong is in the ring, if there's any little bit of silence, we want Metal Warrior chants. Metal Warrior, Metal Warrior. And he'll warrior up, no bother.
Warrior up like, yeah, that's what we need to do from now on. I fucking love it.
Metal Warrior.
Warrior. I'll start fucking snarling, I'll start shaking the ropes. Mixing a bit of hulking up, brother.
That's the fucking way to do it. We've been wasting our time all along with this get Butch over nonsense. We need the Metal Warrior.
Fucking good times, or it's good thinking about it. You don't normally think about it as much. You think reminiscing then.
It's good. That's why I wanted to do this podcast, really. I want to talk to people about these things that you don't get asked about all.
Right up there. You hear me?
Just about. Hello. You back? Can you hear me?
I can hear me. Kind of breaking up there. Testing.
Back,
1, 2, 1, 2. Can you see my nipple? Okay, we're good.
All right. I'm going to take it back a bit. I'm saying that's why I want to do this podcast. I wanted to talk to people about stuff that they don't normally talk about. Like, I wanted to, in wrestling, there's kind of some people frown upon the people backyard wrestle and they're a little bit embarrassed about it, but we all fucking did it. And I want to hear about those embarrassing moments. And this is why I want to ask you this next question. The one part I asked you to prepare for this. So, the dream backyard wrestling booking scenario. First of all, I asked you to book yourself against a famous wrestler. So I assume it's the Metal Warrior that you're being in this one, yeah?
I'm being the Metal Warrior.
And who are you facing tonight?
I'm facing Kane under his backyard alter ego, Bonfire Bob.
Bonfire Bob versus the Metal Warrior here tonight, folks. I am excited about this. I am excited. What is Bonfire Bob's entrance music?
Bonfire Bob's entrance music is the greatest backyard entrance song of all time. Last Resort by Papa Roach.
Oh, of course.
It has to be.
It absolutely has
to be.
That's excellent. I actually want this. I want to see this so bad. So what's the stipulation?
So the stipulation is a trampoline bonfire death match.
Oh, fuck. How do you win that?
So we wrestle on a trampoline. There's a bonfire lit next to it. You got to throw your opponent onto the bonfire to win.
That is fucking horrible.
I know, right?
So this is obviously Bonfire Bob's specialty match, yeah?
Exactly, yeah. So he challenged me to the match after I beat up his cousin, his Irish cousin, Bonfire Dwyer. So what happened was, I beat up Bonfire Dwyer. He comes over from the States to challenge me. He's like, I've never lost this match. This is the best match ever. I end up winning the match. He falls into the fire, and that's how I like to think Kane actually got his burns. It makes sense.
His mental burns are not real. So that's your
Well,
storyline, your stipulation. We have the gimmick. We have Bonfire Bob versus the Metal Warrior. Like, this is just superb already. What is the name of this event, this pay-per-view?
the name of this pay-per-view. There's only one name I could think of because I name nearly every second ICW event this. Brutal Inclusion.
Inclusion.
No, Conclusion.
Oh, it is a brutal inclusion.
You're all included.
Brutally. Get over here against your will, you bastards.
Damn it, you're all included. Now get over here.
Brutal conclusion. We have tonight, we have Metal Warrior versus Bonfire Bob in a, what's it called? What's the name of the match?
Trampoline Bonfire Deathmatch.
Shit. That is some horrible shit. You could bounce right into that fire, like.
Exactly, yeah. All the elements of danger of an Inferno match with a bit of bounce involved.
What's the finish? What's the big finish to this match?
The big finish of this match is he goes for his choke slam. He lifts me up. I manage to get out of it. I'm behind him. I pick him up for like, he's on my shoulders for like an electric chair because it's my scenario. I'm just as strong as Bonfire Bob. And I throw him off. He face plants, boom, into the bonfire. Rolls out of it, so he doesn't get too badly burnt, but has to wear a mask, becomes Kane, is legendary, you know. It was his career to me, what can I say?
All down to the Metal Warrior, once again. The legacy of the Metal Warrior is just growing and growing here.
We need a Metal Warrior t-shirt, I think. I think I need to wrestle as a Metal Warrior.
Can we get a Metal Warrior versus Bonfire Bob promo? Because that'll make me ejaculate right here on the podcast.
All right, hold on. Okay. Bonfire Bob. 2 weeks ago, I beat Bonfire Dwyer in a last man standing match, and you dare challenge me, the Metal Warrior, at brutal conclusion. You will burn at the hand of the Warrior. Jesus Christ.
Imagine you died. Imagine you died in a Metal Warrior promo.
That's the perfect way to cap off the legacy of the Metal Warrior, though. You know
Metal
what I mean?
Warrior is my new hero. That's all I'm saying. The Metal Warrior is my favorite wrestler. I don't want to manage Butch Armstrong anymore. I want to manage the Metal Warrior.
I'll have to get fucking, I'll paint the face up and everything. I'll do it for one show. It'll be fucking brilliant.
I'm going to add that into your intro. He is more over than Rover. He is more Badger than Boy. He is the Metal Warrior, Butch mother flipping Armstrong.
If you go, he's the Metal Warrior, formerly Metal Face. Oh my God.
That's it. That's the way to do it. Butch, thank you so much for joining us here on Don't Backyard Wrestle at Home. We know people don't do any bumps into any cornflakes. Don't have bonfire trampoline death matches. It's not worth it.
God, no.
Leave it to professionals like the Metal Warrior. Butch, plug yourself. Where can we find you? What do you have coming up?
So we have the Felix Return show. Well, if everything goes to plan, August 14th, if I'm not mistaken. And
so.
You can find me on E_Armstrong 2112 on Twitter, I think. I'm really bad at this shit. And Armstrong Country on Instagram, and Butch Armstrong on Instagram also.
Just search him.
King.
It'll be up here anyway. You'll see it on the video.
See what
On
happens.
Spotify, it's in the description. Give Butch a follow. He is the greatest wrestler in Irish wrestling history. And I'm not just saying that because I'm his manager and he pays me to do it. I am saying it because I'm his manager and he pays me to do it.
You get that? You got the PayPal? You got the money?
I got the PayPal. Butch, thank you very much. See you around the corner in Armstrong.
Thank you very much for having me, bro. Yeah, boy.
Stop recording there now.